Hey guys, as always, a big choo-choo to each of y'all. Oh, yeah, it is Spicy Friday. How pumped am I? Yep, up to 11. If you've never seen one of these before, it's a roundup from around the web all week long. The stuff y'all sent me, a few that I found out there on my own. A lot of words to say. It's a lot of fun, and it's always weird. We call it Spicy Friday. I'm glad you're here, and we're gonna have fun. Let me know down below what your favorite one is. And I've saved my favorite, of course, until the very end. I'm glad you're here. Buckle up, here we go. I am pumped, as always, to have good sponsors for this channel. And I am proud that CMMG is the goodest of the good sponsors. And I do mean this. I just this week, and I told y'all last week, I bought my number 6. It's on order and it's coming. Of all the years and all the ownership, I've had one problem. And here is what they sent me. I called to say that I broke an ejector, and they sent me one. So here's my new one. It came right in the mail, super-duper quick, and I've got it. Fantastic company. I recommend them. Pick yours out. I got a new Banshee 9. I'm pretty pumped about that. I don't have a 9, so it's pretty cool. Thank you to CMMG. Thank you to all of y'all for every thumbs up. You're awesome. Where are my Spicy Freedom folks at? Link below, small through 6XL, in stock, back in stock. So grab you one. Thank you for the support. Ready? No opening. There's so much. I'm going to do a special episode of opening later next week. So next week we'll get everything open, but holy smokes, you people, y'all have been a little on the wild side. Speaking of wild side, I am also. Here we go. Ready? Next. Yeah, Jill wore this week. Yep. Grand Old Meme says, Jill, hey, Jill, you're wearing a couch. Next. Hey, this is one of y'all. This is Bill. He says that his teenage daughters knows that he watches religiously here. And so they got him this shirt, Save the Drama for Your Llama. Bill, you look good. Good for your daughters, being good to you. Next. Kazog says, the year is 2040 and you're eating your weekly rationed cricket paste in your self-driving electric car that only allows you to work and back. You get home and are greeted by your non-binary they friend as your child comes in and says, thinking is a crime. Speaking of, these electric cars, the nonsense, when the Ukraine stuff started happening, people on our side, were screaming and chanting for Elon to turn off any of the Teslas that were in Russia. Turn them off. Control. Next. This is real. Cat Turd posted this. Hey, Washington Post listed me as one of the top 77 misinformation accounts. The list of 77 was drawn from research by disinformation experts at Stanford, Harvard, Cornell universities, and the University of Washington. I have Ivy League colleges doing studies on the posts of a cat turd. That's real. Oh, geez, I like it. My buddy Tim sent me this next one. Almost went to post of the week. Almost close. See what you think. Next. English is hard. There is one silent K in night. There are 2 silent Ks in knobby knees. There are 3 silent Ks in Democrat. Next. Nick says, Ivor works in Mexico and just about every country but the U.S. Voter ID is used all over the world, but applied in the U.S., it becomes racist. Defending Ukraine's border is good. Defending the U.S. border is bad. This level of lying is what you see in full-blown dictatorships. Next. Emerald says, never forget, every Dem in America tried to suspend your constitutional rights until you took a poison shot not approved by the FDA just 12 months ago. We're on fire. I love it. I love Fridays. I know y'all do as well. Next, Jason Storm Chaser Nelson says, your teenager is 3 times as likely to die from a fentanyl overdose than maybe try to lock down the border? Just 2 weeks. Flatten that drug curve. Next. Tyler. Tyler's one of my new favorites. Ty the Fish says, I'm not buying an electric car. I'm not turning off my AC. I'm not using your pronouns. I'm not apologizing for being white. I'm not toxic for being a man. I'm not getting an experimental shot. I'm not keeping 6 feet apart. I'm not playing by any more fake rules. I'm not. If you're offended, hit the road. If not, you came to the right place. Next. These are two different posts over on Reddit. Our Gun Politics, it was a post says, Australia has some of the strictest gun laws around, yet our freedoms aren't in danger. 4 hours later, over in Our Technology, Australians who won't unlock their phones could face 10 years in jail. Next, I Ain't No Circleback Girl says, my 14-year-old nephew wanted a tattoo, so we brought him in. They denied him one because they said he wasn't old enough to make informed consent on something so permanent, so we took him to get gender reassignment surgery instead. Next, CNN, men have a bigger carbon footprint than women thanks to their appetite for cars and meat, according to a new study. Tay-Day says, look who's admitting there's only two genders. Why am I burning through and we got a lot today? I'm pumped. Already said I'm pumped 7 times. Still pumped. Next. Mike Pompeo says, yeah, a woke military is a weak military. Thanks, Mike. Next. So if we don't let athletes bet on games they have the ability to influence, why do we allow Congress to invest in companies they regulate? Carl sent that over. Thanks, Carl. Next. What do you hate the most? Facts. You're hired. You're now working at fact checkers. They hate the truth. I was going to say get your tinfoil hat. Nah, this is real. I mean, it's real. Even if it's not a conspiracy, it's real. Next, The Hill posted this. FBI director says agency's domestic tea caseload has exploded, no pun intended, since last year. Jesse Kelly says, to be clear, domestic tea didn't increase at all. The FBI just expanded what it means to be a domestic tea. And they're going to keep expanding what it means, if you know what I mean. Hear that? That's the sound of keyboard warriors fussing at me for not saying domestic the full word. Because they don't understand how YouTube works. But they get mad at me. Get mad at me, champ. I welcome it. Next. Only a fool would give up a weapon in order for the government to protect them. The government cannot even stop a telemarketer. Next, this is real. Today in Congress, relief money for Florida? Nah. Border wall? Nah. Declare fentanyl emergency? Nah. Help homeless vets? Nah. Fix a pothole in front of my house? Nah. Save the? Nah. Send another $12 billion to Ukraine? Yes. They're very generous with other people's money. Next. Spike says, the U.S. government has been arming Ukraine because they're allies. The U.S. government has been seeking to disarm Russia because they're opponents. In totally unrelated news, the U.S. government seeks to disarm you. I can't figure out if this episode is just like smackdown with the truth or just some nonsense comedy. Maybe a little of both. Next. Ma Maria says, these kids think they're getting candy this year, but I'm really handing out 1 terabyte of government conspiracy videos. Send it, girl. Send it. Oh, I love this. Next. John Schneider posted this. The Dollar General. Some of you don't get that. Some of you understand who John Schneider is. That is some them big boys. Next. David Hogg says, retweet if you're voting for gun safety this November. Cat turd. Yes, that cat turd. Just posted a picture right back at him. Hey, David, here's you and Captain Gun Safety. Next. Me. When I'm at Texas Roadhouse. Where's my buns? Where's my buttery buns? Next, when Dems get tired of screaming about systemic racism in policing and decide to do some research on the subject. Systemic racism in America. What do we find on page 1? Biden's 94 crime bill. Next. Steve says, a pound of grasshoppers is 3 times as nutritious as a pound of beef. Rothsmith says, the moral of the story is do not under any circumstances let them take away our guns. Cold dead hands. Next. Two friends. Got your rings out? Two friends. Always broke. An overwhelming sense of dread. Back pain. Neck pain. With your powers combined, I am adulthood. Ow. Next. From the B. Boardroom demons applaud as CEO Satan suggests rebranding child sacrifice as women's health care. What's a spice of meatball right there? Next. Happy fall, y'all. When you defeat every pumpkin patch and have to face the final boss. Is her name Kaylee or Callie? Ashley. I bet it's Ashley. She smells of pumpkin spice. Next. Oh, I knew I wouldn't be able to get through this one. Joe Biden is more confused than, than Michelle Obama's. God, just trouble on the go.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here.
Oh, geez, Louise. I knew I wouldn't get through that one. Oh, all together now. Big Mike. Next, Dagger Defense posted this. My boy, Dagger Defense. My second attempt at making a salad. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. You're succeeding. That's what you're doing. Next, you support open carrying because you think it's a visual deterrent. I support open carrying because I need you to be the bullet sponge while I draw from concealment and take out the shooter. We are not the same. Look at me. Next, Tim runs his mouth. Please forgive me for not wanting to negotiate my gun ownership with people who just a few months ago wanted me eliminated from society because I didn't want a forced medical treatment. Next. Trump vows to nominate the Colin kid as Secretary of Agriculture after he's reelected. It's Colin. I can't think of a more beautiful thing. It's Colin. Some of you don't get that. Speaking of not getting that, next, some of you won't get this. Those of you that do, holy smokes. Ooh. Ooh. Joel Osteen releases new brand of table salt that has completely lost its saltiness. Oh, geez. I know that's something just, it's not over your head. It's around the side of you. You just don't know, but ooh, that's harsh. Next, Russian spy awarded Presidential Medal of Freedom for being first openly trans traitor to the country. Congratulations. Speaking of clowns, next, inflation isn't going to happen. Okay, it happened, but it's transitory due to bottlenecks. Okay, not transitory, nor have the bottlenecks resolved. Let's try transitory again. Well, Putin did it. Washington Post posts, 7 ways a recession could be good for you financially. Clowns. Absolute clowns. They expect us to believe whatever they say. Next, runner-up. High schoolers given detention for cutting class during active shooting. Because if they're not in the room during the shooting, they can't become part of the narrative. My pick for favorite of the week, let me know what your favorite one was. What a fun one. I'm a little sweaty. It's always fun. Glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Next. I'm sorry, Joe. You're 30 years too old for me.